All right. So we're here. It's Tom and Tyros streaming again. Well, you know what? This one's a pre-recorded video. This is the Champions Path Draft League Season 3, Week 1 recap. We got through Week 1, everyone. Give it up. And then today, me and Tyros got Alpaca and Professor Koji joining us today as well. So I'm quite excited for this one. We're going to be going over all the games of Week 1 and just giving our thoughts, giving how we thought the matches went. It was hard for us to see all the matches, so some of us saw more than others, and that's fine. We're just going to be talking about what we saw in the match stats and everything, and let's go right in to our first battle. We got the number 3 ranked B. Haney New England Pidgeots against the number 4 ranked Carolina State War Turtles, and we got Koji with us right now, so I think I'm going to kick it to Koji. And yeah, you could just tell us what you thought about this battle. It ended in a B. Haney victory 2-0. He was a former champ, so don't keep your head up, man, because this was a good battle to watch from a viewer's perspective, and I'd love to hear about it from your perspective.
Absolutely. Hey, what's going on, guys? Professor Koji here, and yeah, this was a tough one. On paper, it was just a nightmare to prepare for. So I drafted the Incineroar early. My team was obviously very physical, and Incineroar was a last-minute decision to even bring. I put a lot of fear into the Venusaur Sleep Powder and a lot of respect into the Dragapult Speed Tier. So I made a last-minute pickup, and I dropped Vigavolt and picked up Darmanitan to kind of threaten that Dragapult. And also, I wanted weather control, so I ran the Scarf Darm with U-Turn because that would ensure I guaranteed weather. Most players want to bring in Torkoal, which he did. I made the reads both times, but he brought the Torkoal in turn 1 on the switch, so he can have weather control, and both times I was able to control the weather. However, he did an amazing job with the Metagross. Setting up defense, I never saw the max defense Torkoal body press coming. I was safety goggles on Incineroar and Lumberry on Braviary, so obviously I was leading heavy towards the Venusaur being clutch. I kind of feared the Jellicent a little bit. But yeah, this match, man, I played my heart out with what I had. I kind of saw the writing on the wall game 2 early on. Metagross was just too much for me to handle. Congratulations to Bihani on what I consider an excellent preparation, honestly. I wasn't scared of Entei or Raikou as I had the ground control with Excadrill. I knew the Persian was going to be a threat, but I was more scared of Fake Out. He kind of brought a more offensive set, so it ended up not being as scary. But yeah, he did an amazing job, man. Like I said, I played my tail off. Few mistakes. I do appreciate you guys saying that, by the way. I played my heart out. I made moves and reads and did what I could, but like I said, the writing was on the wall, and you got to keep your chin up when you see that. And I learned. But I made a mistake by not bringing Dusclops. Dusclops could have checked the body press, could have controlled the speed and not worried about the Dragapult. Could have ally swapped. I could have made that life a lot harder on him. But I did end up dropping Dusclops this week, actually. So I made some big moves. Yes.
Yeah, that's a big drop.
I made some big moves this week. I learned about the trading, and I'm new to the season, so this is a live and learn type scenario, and I hope that I'm the guy that takes it to the face for everybody in the league. You guys listen to this and learn from this. Use your trades wisely. I thought there were multiple transactions. They're actually just one Pokemon, so this is fine. My team was very physical, as he pointed out, and very much so abused. So I traded in the Raichu and the Dusclops for a Thundurus and a Latios. Now, what this does is gives me some special attack options that are kind of threats. The Thundurus can act as the Raichu with priority T-Wave, doing the same thing. Eerie Impulse. I mean, it's the exact same Pokemon without Fake Out, but I'm flying now, so I lose my ground weakness there. And I lose a Sash user, meaning I could toss the Sash elsewhere and just give me that offensive pressure if I need it as well. Gets Defiant, makes me kind of scarier to plan for, as now I have the Braviary very physical, and I can run either way with the Thundurus. And then the Latios gets Levitate as well, covering those ground weaknesses, covering that fighting weakness on Tyranitar. Gives me another special threat because he pretty much exposed what I would consider a solid game plan against me that is now null and void. And I think I filled those gaps in the team. Without Vikavolt, the Dusclops was kind of useless. So I just let him
I
go.
love those trades on your end, especially the Latias pickup. I'm looking at it on Cerebi right now. It gets Charm, which is awesome in this. If you have like, you can't charm the Metagross, but most physical attackers, if you get a good charm off, it really shuts them down, especially if they Dynamax. You got Tailwind now with it. You got Recover. You got Heal Pulse. You got Reflect type if they got a cool type that they can't beat themselves with. So there's so many cool things you can do with the Latias. I really ally switch. I really like that pickup. And it again, it's a strong special attacker, so now you're not as physically dependent. So you can't just bring a physical wall like the Metagross and the Torkoal body press too. That really was shocking to me, the amount of damage it did to a Dynamax T-Car. And for everyone, if you found this video, you could watch this video of their match within 14 days on Twitch, I believe it is, for B Haney, BHANNY _27, and Professor Koji, PROFKOJI. So if you're listening to this, you could go watch their video on Twitch within 14 days of it posting, I believe it is. And it was really entertaining. And Koji's right, he battled his ass off, but it was a shit matchup. He played the defending champ, and Behaney won last season for a reason. He over prepares. He knows what he's doing. So this was a real tough matchup.
Yeah, I would. What I'm gonna do for you guys, by the way, is I'm gonna just save clipped highlights to my stream. I'm just gonna clip the match. I stream afterwards, and I
Yeah,
just
plug it.
shiny hunt. So I'm just gonna basically clip this for you guys. So it will be like an hour long clip. It will take me a little bit, however, it will be on there actually on my stream forever for us to go
I
back
love
until the
that.
end of the season. So I'm gonna make sure to clip these for you guys if you want to go back and watch. Um,
And that's at
I'll,
Prof Koji.
yeah,
PROFKOJI.
PROF. It's like professor, just dot the dot. Yep. But yeah, he did good, man. And like I said, I addressed those. The Latias has many things that I'm not going to mention it could do with my team that really no one probably will see coming that are insane, as
I can't
well
wait to see
as
it.
oh, absolutely. And it is just it's a very undervalued pickup. It's
I
just
believe it too.
insane. But yeah,
Latios was on my list of potential draft candidates. I picked Dragonite instead.
ooh.
Yeah. So that's a little more behind the scenes info for my team building process.
Well, like I said, I love team building. I love to hear it. I'm glad to be here. It was a tough loss, but I take it on the chin. I don't think it was so much of a shit matchup as a just a testament of the player I can be. I take it as a good challenge, and I move forward. Hopefully, with the rematch against him in the long future. Yeah, that's my end goal. I feel like he'll be there.
Dude,
And
I love it.
definitely
And
with
yeah. So
do
I
you
was
have
just about to
sorry,
say, Alpaca.
yeah,
Sorry I've been talking so much. I haven't
yeah,
introduced you at all. Introduce yourself,
yeah,
please.
no problem. Yeah, I'm Alpaca. I'm also the coach of the St. John Seals, which we will get uh into later our matchup. But yeah, I'm just saying this matchup. I think it just goes to show Metagross and what kind of a beast that can be. Just stacking the defensive boost not only for itself but for like you guys said, the Torkoal and the body press. So I think it was just one strategy there. I think that just was a little underprepared for. And looking at the Koji's team now, it's definitely one that is still going to be threatening down the line. And this
Oh
week
yeah.
is just the week one. Uh, it's important, but at the same time, it's not important. It's how you move on in week two and week three that really determines how important your week one games are.
I love that
Absolutely.
advice.
All right, we want to
And
move
this
on to
everyone,
the next one.
yeah, and everyone that's coming from the number one power ranked coach in the power rankings too. So that's some sage advice you just got there. And yeah, let's move on to the next game. Tyros, you want to lead us off with this one?
All right, so the next one is was the Orlando Oshawotts and the Charlotte Vespiquen. So we got Oddball in the red corner and Caleb in the blue. Caleb ended up taking this match. This is actually the last one of the week. He won it 2-0, and it really just kind of really went in real strong in both of those matches. Um, there's some weird things that I think Oddball did. Like I did not like
Mm-hmm.
the protecting over and over again by Rhyperior. I think that he
Four
actually had a
times in a row.
chance to win that first match if Rhyperior just starts attacking stuff.
I agree.
So that I mean, it is what it is. I think Rhyperior is a great mon. I think it actually matched up really well against Caleb's team. But just maybe just some week one jitters or what have you. I know he said in the chat he has some stuff going on this week, so hopefully he bounces back next week.
I couldn't have said it better. I really hope he bounces back because I was shocked watching it. I was a little bit disappointed because he attacked his own Dynamax Pokemon. He protected 4 times in a row. It felt like he threw the game, and then after he confirmed it, and he said, once I felt like I was losing, I just wanted it to end quicker. So that was disappointing to see from a coach. And congrats to Caleb on the 2-0 victory. Alpaca,
I'll step in for a minute. I'll just say that I just want to give Oddball just some confidence and some positivity that, just keep your head up. If you're going to lose or if you're in a losing situation, you can always win. You can always turn it around, especially the Rhyperior. Don't get discouraged. If you need any advice, you can always reach out to me or any of these guys, I'm sure. I would gladly spend a lot of time trying to help you, or if you need it. And this isn't saying that you do, by the way. This is just, if you need help prepping, if you're busy or got stuff going on, I'd be glad to take that on as well as anybody else, I'm sure. But don't get discouraged. We're not going to bash on you. Just next time, in my opinion, I would say just try to win at least, and then just take it on the chin and move on. In my opinion, but yeah, it was a weird match because I needed to study Caleb for next week's matchup, and it was kind of hard to really get full intel there with it's kind of like a thrown game. But like I said, man, message me or anybody, and I'm here to help you for sure and give you positivity or guidance or any of that stuff, man. Phone's always open, Discord's always open if you just want to talk to somebody or whatever, and we'll sort it out or get you helped out, man. So that I hope to see you win this week. That would be my second goal of me winning is to see you get a win this week.
That's so kind, Koji. That is one of the kindest messages I've heard in a while, man. And Oddball, definitely reach out in general if you ever need help practice battling or anything, because there's so many people that would be more than willing to help you, man. And that's great. And yeah, I'm sorry if I was bashing your team a little bit, but I was a little disappointed to see you throwing it. I was. I'm not gonna lie. But that, Koji, that was just such sage and awesome advice. Thank you. That was so kind. I love that.
Yeah, I didn't think you were bashing him. I mean, he needs honesty, but he also needs maybe a shoulder or something. Maybe Alpaca, if you have anything to say.
Yeah, I tuned in there at the beginning, so I was kind of in and out. My girlfriend came home at the time, so I didn't get to pay as close attention. But I was a little confused, especially popping in and seeing some of the more questionable plays. But I think you guys covered it pretty well. Like anyone in the league, from what I can tell, is down to help anyone else in the league that is looking to prep. And don't get discouraged. From what I did see in game one, it wasn't a bad game. It could have gone, either way with some different plays. And then game two was kind of just a mess there. But I think that was kind of more intentional. But I think it still was possible to bring the setback even. So I would just say if things aren't going your way, especially early in the season, it's just better to play the games out and get the practice in, even if it's a hard matchup or a losing matchup. It's good to help not only you, but you can other people who are watching too. Everybody wants to have a good competitive matches to watch.
And yeah, week 1 doesn't matter as much, but week 9, when we're going into playoff seedings, we want to know all the secrets we could get. We want to know all the strategies our opponents use. So yeah, that's something to look at going forward. And I want to shout out Caleb's stream for this one. So I'm not sure if he clips it like Koji does, so you can see it forever. But within the next 14 days, you should be able to see it at My Name is Caleb731 on Twitch. And then I'm down to move on to the next matchup here. I think we said enough. And this next matchup was also a little bit of a weird one. So this one, this was KD versus Anti. KD was number 5 in the power rankings, and Anti was number 9 in the power rankings. So these were two very high-ranked teams, and you hate to see how this one ended. It ended in 2 disconnects, apparently. So it ended with a KD 1-0 victory, but we couldn't figure out who disconnected, apparently. So that's why it was only 1-0 instead of the full 3 games. There's no video on demand for this one, and The kills were KD had 3 kills with Mudsdale and 1 kill with Delmise. Anti had 1 kill with Cinderace, 1 kill with Lapras, and 1 kill with Vileplume. So there's not much we could go on, but do you guys have anything to say about this match?
I would say just judging on the stats that we do have, as there is no video evidence, it did seem to look like the KD in the Detroit Dragapult went in more of a trick room mode for game one. So I'm not sure. Maybe that's something he wants to lean on heavily in the season, or maybe he wants maybe next week to swap to the Spectre Clefairy kind of game plan. And on the other side, he Cinderace and what was it, Regieleki, who had the
Oh,
kills?
Cinderace, Lapras, and Vileplume each got a KO.
Lapras.
So
All right.
yeah, you love seeing Vileplume in there, but that was surprising to me.
Yeah, the volume plume is surprising. Maybe max the Cinderace and goes for the just a standard max and gets the max flare off to set the sun. Couple questions. Yeah, it's hard to kind of predict without the video, but it's interesting to see.
Yeah, Koji, Tyros, you guys got anything?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with the trick room mode. I mean, I'm seeing the Glacier, the Mudsdale, Mimikyu, some definitely slower Mons than Delamise, but he has an interesting swap up with the Clefairy and also with the Gyarados to set max speed in the Urshifu. On the other team, I mean, the Vileplume is kind of interesting, but at the same time, I mean, it checks the Mudsdale. It probably predicted Mudsdale,
Yeah.
I would assume. So it's maybe a little bit of a check. It's about the only check I really see on his team.
Yeah, because looking at the two
Looking
roster
at it,
compositions, you got to
yeah,
bring
because
Mudsdale for this matchup.
you really have to, because if you think about it, I mean, the Mudsdale is going to carry the Max Steel Spike for the Clefable. It's got Dracozolt with the ground, Hippowdon maybe can yawn it. The Lapras, it might carry like a Max Rockfall. Lapras could kind of check it. So I'm sure his ideal play was to bring the Lapras Vileplume looking at this team, because it kind of checks even the Regieleki and the Cinderace if you don't use it correctly. So the Mudsdale did look like a very strong Pokemon in this matchup, in my opinion, and I would favor the Dragapults from the information we have. But it's unfortunate to see people disconnect. That sucks for both guys. I really hate it for
really
both of them.
does. Yeah, it sucks so much, man. I feel so bad when people disconnect. And if anyone's watching this in the league going forward, just take a picture of your screen right when it says you disconnected. So we got to send that to the moderators. And I say we move on to the next one. We've covered this one as much as we possibly can, I think. And so this one was Silver versus number 17. Number 17 ended up coming away with a victory, a 2-1 victory over Silver. And in the power rankings, number 17 was 4th ranked team, and Silver was a 21st ranked team. This game was streamed. I'm not sure if any of you saw it. I did miss it, and there's no video on demand. So, or Tyros, you got anything? Did you happen to see this one?
Yes, I did watch it. I'm trying to pull up the stats right now.
Oh, I got Blaziken had 2 kills on the Rillabooms. Durant had 4 kills. And then on the other side,
Yep.
Cortana had 7 kills, and Urshifu had 3 kills. So it was the Urshifu Rapid Strike, the water one, and the Cortana, who's a free agent in one of the leagues,
Yeah.
had 7 kills.
So Silver streamed this. He had a super cool team. I really liked Durant. Durant was a monster in I think the first 2 games, or the first and the third. It was just a complete monster. Just wrecked. Just started wrecking house. And then the Ducks 17 really kind of figured out what to do from there. Kind of checked Durant a little bit more, and started taking the game. But it was a really cool match to watch. Unfortunately, the VOD's not out there. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and you could go to Silver Broom 100 on Twitch to watch future matches. I'm not sure if number 17 has a Twitch. Alpaca, did you get to see this one, or any
No,
interesting
I
takeaways?
actually I miss this one too, but I will say it's interesting to see number 17 how his kills, he had 3 with the Urshifu, 7 with the Kartana. That's who you kind of expect to get the kills of this team. Those are the heavy hitters. Like that's who you're expecting to get the kills. Maybe a couple for Galarian Moltres or 1 or 2 for Rotom Heat. But I
Yep.
do like on Silverbroom's end. He's reaching in for that offense. Blaziken picking up 2 kills. An offensive mon, but not one that I think you would expect to be one of the kill leaders of your team. And Durant, another lower pick, but definitely not a wasted pick.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
I could agree with that. The Cartana, looking at this team, is very glaring. Like you said, the Urshifu Cartana are kind of what you're expecting to get the kills on this team. The Weezing, Crobat, Alola, and Ninetales, they seem as set up. I think he dropped to Jetic this week. Aggron's just kind of a weird off the wall pick, possibly for Trick Room and Double, same way. The Moltres I could see setting up, just kind of hard to see with what. So this team is looking like pretty much how it performed, which is pretty cool to see. And I did not get to see the game, but on the other end, I mean, I love Amoonguss. I have a soft spot for Amoonguss. So it's cool to see that he didn't bring it, but the Blaziken get kicking kills and the Durant on the lower end. That's kind of cool. I kind of like to see how he set the Durant up, or if he just ripped the Dynamax and just let it go.
I also
need,
am curious about that too.
yeah, I would definitely like to see that. I like his team a lot though. I think Snorlax can be a threat. I think his redirection in the Reinclus, I think it is down at the bottom. Yeah, he's
Yep.
a pretty solid mon to pick, as well as Bisharp, Scary with the Sucker Punch. So these are pretty good teams. Has the Gastrodon for the Dragovich check. I really like his team a lot, honestly.
And yeah,
I'll
just because
I'll
Silver
agree with
lost this
what Koji
battle
said
doesn't.
there.
Oh, sorry,
Oh
Alpaca.
no worries. I was just saying I'll mimic what Koji said there. Looking at his team, I think it's a very strong team, and seeing that he brought it to 2-1 this week, I definitely look next week. I'm not sure his matchup, but he's definitely one that could possibly get a win next week.
And this is one of the guys that lost that I expect to go up in the power rankings because he played well, and his team is looking scarier now after week 1.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so now next match is I got a soft spot for Amoonguss too. When you said that, I love that because my team name's the Amoonguss Bus. I love the mushroom Pokemon. I had artists make some psychedelic art for me. I was like, thank you so much. And I got 2-0 swept by United. And you can watch a video back on either of our Twitches, United Away or Tom Hayden 27. And I also got it on YouTube if you search Tom Hayden and CPDL Draft League Week 1 or any Pokemon stuff, you can find my YouTube as well. But yeah, this game started off and I was like laughing halfway through, like, oh, I can't believe I won this easily. And he came back and crushed me. So the end of game 1 was just a beating. He kicked my ass the end of game 1 with the Dracovish and the Terrakion. So the Dracovish had 5 kills against me. Terrakion had 2 and Talonflame had 1. While on my end, the Rillaboom had 4 and Nicole had 2 kills. So I was using my S tier mons at the top. He was spreading out his kills more, and he played this wonderfully. He knew he needed to lead the Talonflame Dracovish, and looking at my team, I knew he had to lead that too. Because I was like, if he doesn't lead that, and I lead Cole and Teleon and Aquajet Cole, I will win every time. So I knew what he was leading. I called it going in, and my plan went according to plan until halfway through the game. I Sleep Powdered Butterfree, and I Dynamaxed Rillaboom to reset terrain control. I did not G-Max it. I Dynamaxed it. So when he switched in Indeedee, I could max Darkness the Indeedee or the Alakazam, try to get the special defense drops while then the next turn resetting the terrain to the grassy terrain. I didn't think he would bring Charizard, and he ended up dropping the Ninetales for the Talonflame, I believe it is. So his team was a little different. With the Ninetales, it was still a scary lead, but I was still going to lead the Rillaboom Butterfree and try to put everything to sleep. And his Dracovish having Choice Scarf was really the difference maker because he was able to KO my Butterfree game too. But one thing that really stood out to me was United messaged me after this match, and he goes, dude, I was so scared of Choice Scarf, Rillaboom. Because if you had Choice Scarf the Rillaboom and used a pledge move, I would have been done. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Because I had the pledge moves on. I didn't use them though. If I had Choice Scarfed Rillaboom, I would have been faster than anything on his team and would have half to speed the entire match. So him giving me sage advice after, if you need a practice partner or you need to pick someone's brain about your team, I don't know, I'll help you out. But I would look at United as someone who you could he's got some good strategies, and he knows what he's doing when he's prepping for people. I'm not sure if he has time to prep with everyone, but he's a good Pokemon mind, and it was a fun battle. I look to come back even though I got swept. And if you guys saw this match or got anything, yeah, here's your time.
I like your team. I like the Rillaboom idea, but I definitely would like to see the Hatterene.
I love Hatterene. Yeah.
Coming on this matchup because of I see the Dracovish immediately looking at this team. I do like the idea with Butterfree. It's very ballsy though, as those 7% or 9% or
It was
how,
97%. Yeah, with
97% and with compound eyes.
Yep.
That 3% to me is still just a little too much to lean on. And I know
Did you
that
see
sounds
game one?
crazy. No, I didn't catch the game, but I'm
I
just saying.
lost because of a heat wave miss.
Oh gosh, that sucks, man.
So the last turn, I had Colossal max speed against a red Dracovish and Talonflame, and heat wave missed the Dracovish, so he got the KO.
Yeah,
So
see
that accuracy really comes into play with this
and
battle,
it does,
especially.
and that's kind of like, I mean, even with compound eyes, I like it. But I think maybe Hat possibly could have, if you could have got some misdirection up and set up Trick Room, that just kind of deletes what he's trying to do here. Then the ball's in your court. Rillaboom's still getting that priority. Grassy Glide under Trick Room would be kind of clutch for the Terrakion.
Yeah.
These are just my opinions and stuff, though, obviously. But
No, I
think
love
Rillaboom,
it. Please. Yeah.
That's what I would have liked to see. Maybe I'm wrong here, but the Dragovish looking over his team. I mean, he has a very scary team. And plus, with Talon, if I saw Talonflame, it pretty much nullifies his Tailwind as well. If you're just wanting to set up Trick Room, I think you need some good form of misdirection, and even maybe the Butterfree with just the Rage Powder, Focus Sash, setting up the Trick Room.
That probably would have been a better play than what I did. So I appreciate that. That's why I love hearing everyone's opinions on it too, because then I'll get more strategies going forward.
Right, but I mean, again, I mean, he could have ran a Taunt Gengar or even Trick Room Gengar, and I mean, he has a lot of stuff that he could definitely do. That's a very scary team that United has over there. From what I see, that's a terrifying team.
It really is.
But if that's my opinion. I'll let somebody else talk on it. That's just possibly what I would have tried. A little.
And different. With all the dragon types, the Obstagoon too, the Terrakion being a fighting type, weak to it, weak to fairy too.
I just saw that the Hatterene kind of, you maybe could have made it bulky, and it just would have checked the Dracovish. I feel like if he would have saw that, it would have, at bare minimum, he would have had to respect it a little more. Because with a Rillaboom and a Butterfree lead, the Dracovish gets free reign, in my opinion, unless you hit the Sleep Powder. And you should bank on it being Choice Scarfed, because it gets that strong draw ability. It's kind of rare to see it banded anymore these days, especially in doubles.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to want to hit that Vicious Ren first. Because if you can get a clutch KO, that kind of nullifies double battles in general. That's Dracovish's main strength, in my opinion.
He also has a pow down. I forget who he dropped for it. So that's why I thought it might be banded with the Stand Rush too. So that added into it too.
Yeah, I could see that. But again, I mean, bringing that to Rillaboom I don't think that would be the best play for him. I think, you know what I mean?
Exactly. It ended up doing work and getting 5 kills. So you were right. Yeah. I probably should have done something else.
Dracovish is one of those Pokemon that just merits respect. Singles or doubles.
Really does.
It needs it. But I'll pass it to somebody else, see what they have the thoughts. And if you think I said something wrong or misguided them, I'd like to hear that as well. But yeah, that's what I have to say about it.
Alpaca, you got anything? No, I don't disagree with anything that was said there. I think both coaches, both Tom and United, both played really well. And you said I don't remember what game it was, but it was game 1 that the heat wave missed.
The end of game 1, I had the max speed, weakness policy, colossal. Yeah. And Snom was in the chat like, oh, you should have earth powered for the 100% accuracy. And he was right.
Yeah, that would have guaranteed the KO, but that's live and learn, right?
Exactly.
Now for next time, but that's unfortunate game 1. But yeah, I think it was just a strong matchup. Sometimes you don't get the break, some weeks you do. Sometimes you hit heat wave, sometimes you miss, sometimes you hit sleep powder and get put the other person to sleep for 5 turns. I think United said. I forget. Might have been Tarakion was asleep. So yeah,
I think it
sometimes you get
woke
the
up and I
bounces.
put it right back to sleep too.
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes you get the bounces, sometimes you don't. I
Yeah.
think Tom's gonna come back next week, and his team is full on offense, so he's coming swinging. He's
Yeah, I'm coming out
next week.
swinging against Jolt next week.
Yep.
I got Jolt next week, and yeah, so I lost, so I got to come out swinging. And every time I lost last season, I would come out and put up a good fight the next week. So that's something to watch
Yep.
out for. And United, I think United can win it all this year. I just want to put that out there now, week 1, right after week 1's over, so that when he does win it all, I could say I told it you so to everyone. So that's just I'm putting that out there now.
I'm putting
He's
my
one of
money
those
on that
guys.
Koji guy.
I like that. Well, of course, if I don't win, I think it's going to be United. And then, Tyros, you got anything else before we move on?
No, I really like this match. It was really cool. You guys both did great. And like you guys said, I'm really interested to see. Across the league. I'm really interested to see how everything starts playing out in weeks 2 and week 3. Week 1 can be a crapshoot depending on
Yep.
how it goes. Like last season, I beat Alpaca in the first match, and then he just went on a tirade after that and just started wrecking people. So, and then I lost like 5 in a row. So you never really know how a team is gonna go overall until like that really second, third week when they start to get in their stride.
Exactly. All right, and let's move on to the next one. And Tyros, how about you start us off with this matchup with the Jinx Jolts versus the Little Smurf Windows P2?
All right, so this is one of the first matches of the week, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a 5th overall. Yeah, it
5th
was the
overall.
first one on Saturday.
That's what it was.
Oh no,
First
it was the
one.
last one on Friday.
Yeah.
It was the last one on Friday. That's what it
So
was.
Joel ended up winning this one 2-0 against Lil Smurf. Joel had some really cool strats. I really like the Tapu Koko Raichu lead that he did the first game. I thought that was really cool. And then Smurf obviously brings Glastrier, and it got 2 kills overall. It did some really good work. And then Blastoise for Jolt was actually his kill leader with 3. He brought Gmax Blastoise, and having that damage after effect really, I think, really helped in the long run.
Yeah, and you could see this video if you go to YouTube at JOLTEADE, Joltiade, and he has this video up. I'm not sure the exact title, but I think it's week 1 CPDL something. So definitely search up. This is one of the matches that is on demand, so you can watch this one if you want.
I do believe Smurf also streamed, but I'm not sure if the video's up. But he did
Oh, I didn't
stream
even
it.
realize he streamed. So yeah, I
I
got to
think
shout out his Twitch too.
I
And
think
we'll
he
go
did
try to find it
stream.
now.
That's what I remember seeing this live. I got a bit of a insider knowledge. Joel asked me for a couple practice matches before, so I had to be on the Smurf side of things, and I think Joel the same game plan he used against me he used in this match, and I won't say how made out with me. Just kind of keep that between him and I, but he had a game plan and something that we talked about, and I like to see it played out. Yeah, he knew what he wanted to do, and he executed it pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I do want to mention from Lil Smurf, I think the Galarian Articuno, I think that was a really interesting option he had. Looking at Jolt's team, how he had some super fast options in the Tapu Koko and Alolan Raichu, but he also has the kind of the Trick Room and the Trevenant and Guzzlord. But if you don't see those Pokemon, then you know Jolt's not going to go into Trick Room. So I think maybe having more leaning heavily into Trick Room, trying to get that set up, would have been maybe more of a solid game plan for him.
A little Smurf. Yeah, that looking at the team compositions, you're right. Because Jolt has a lot of mid-tier, faster Pokemon without Trevenant, Celesteela, Guzzlord.
Yep, and Smith has a lot of speed control options, not only in the Tailwind in Trick Room Articuno, but the Pheromosa speed swap. Sableye gets Quash. Romatisse also has the Trick Room. So you just if he's gonna go that heavy on a supportive team, I think he just needs to have his offensive threats be that much more threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, this team does look pretty heavy on Trick Room, especially with the Glastrier. I think he could have pretty much put in a lot of work if he leaned more towards that, like you're saying. I agree with that 100%. He kind of resists what the Jolt team's wanting to do. In my opinion, with the Glastrier, some of it, and if he gets that speed control, I think he has a good shot.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. He needs. This is one of those teams where you look at and you're like, if you let him get Trick Room up, it's going to be a long battle for you. That's what, like, I'm looking at his roster being like, oh boy, all right. If I let him get this Trick Room up, what am I going to do? Oh, it's Rain's Going Furious by you too?
Yeah,
Tyros
that's it.
Say again.
is up north of me and Koji's down south of me, and it's raining all over the East Coast right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. So next one we have the St. John Seals
Gonna
and
move on to the next battle too, and
the Atlanta Dunsparce. So Alpaca, you want to take the lead here?
Yeah, sure. So this is my week 1 matchup, and I knew going into it he would I thought he would want to have the Clefairy Porygon Z as his main offense here, but again, as Tom knows, the Dracovish is also a threat, which I knew he'd want to bring. So those top 3 I knew were coming, and then it was basically just the bottom 3 that uh, that I had to look out for, and he made a couple pickups. Not it was I think it was midweek, but it was well within the time frame for our matchup in the Crocodile, and I'm not sure the other one, but I do remember Crocodile because that is the Pokemon that came and almost got
Thunderous, right?
my Thunderous.
Oh no,
Yes,
he has
okay.
Thunderous. No, I'm sorry, he has Thunderous already.
Yeah, it was. It might have been.
I'm gonna
I
look it
think
up
it
now.
might. Oh, it's Tapu Lele. That's who he
Oh,
picked
that's
up.
a good
Tapu
pickup.
Lele and
Crocodile.
Crocodile. So that adds a lot too. The psychic terrain for the Thievul combo and prevents priority. But yeah, so I seen his team and I knew he wants to outspeed me, so I knew my main goal had to be Trick Room. So that's kind of I didn't bring the Dragapult this week, even though it kind of resists or is immune to the max strikes of Porygon Z, which he didn't wind up bringing anyways. So that is good. And I had to bring Porygon 2, the Gigalith, the Jellicent, the Sylveon, my slow Trick Room mons, and that's kind of how I won most of my games with setting up Trick Room and Sylveon just putting out some unexpected damage, I think both by me and by him.
That's awesome. Yeah, you really spread out your kills in this one. I'm looking at the kill count now. Sylveon had 3, Surfetched had 2, P2 had 2, and Gigalith had 2. But you really spread out all your KOs, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's threatening about my team is that the kills can kind of come from anywhere. Even my supportive Pokemon like Porygon 2 can gets a download boost and now it's a +1 special attack. Or Jellicent, which I should have went this week, but in the Water Spout. So after getting Trick Room up, Water Spout at full HP is going to be doing lots of damage. So yeah, I think it's just something hard to prepare for with my team. But looking on the other side, Bananas had a crazy hard team to prepare for too. So he played fantastically, and like I said, right up until the very end, I thought he actually had won Game 3.
Oh,
So
wow. Yeah, I got to watch
but
this one back. This is, I forget how I think I missed the end of game 3, but I was watching the beginning of this. And Alpaca, we forgot to mention this. You're the number 1 power ranked team before week 1. So that's like already pressure on Bananas going into it too. So that's something he has to prep for that. And let me shout out your Twitch right now too. You can watch the videos within 14 days at ZE Alpaca Lips TTV and Bum Trash Garbage. On Bananas stream is Bum Trash Garbage, and Alpaca stream is Z Alpaca Lips TTV. And yeah, I got to watch this one back because game 3, I missed the end of the game 3, but this was a fun one to watch for game 1 and 2. And you guys really both played well. And again, spreading out your kills is one thing that stands out to me. Is something that when I'm prepping for your team, you don't know what's coming. Like, you don't know who you got to worry about exactly. So I love your team composition, man.
Yeah, thanks. That's kind of the goal I had, I guess, when I was drafting it. But yeah, I don't know if Tyros or Koji has anything else to add, or Tom.
I really like both these teams. So they both seem very strong. I love the misdirection with the Dragapult on the Clefairy Friend Guard. I love the PZ and the Talonflame Tailwind. Gengar's interesting. You do some cool stuff with Gengar, and then your team is just absolutely scary. It's kind of like the same core that I'm running essentially with the Arcanine doing what Incineroar kind of does without the fake out. You got the Excadrill Gigalith set up, but like you said, I'm looking at this team and there's really nowhere that I can't see something scary happening. You know, with the Sylveon, even with Pixie Plate, it could be Mystical Fire support, or it could just hit like a tank with that Hyper Voice. Crobat setting up max airstreams. It's just a very scary, very powerful team, and I love the versatility of this team. Honestly, um, I did not get to catch the match, however, I do apologize for that. But I like your team a lot. It's a very strong team for sure. Both these teams look very strong.
And yeah, there was a reason Alpaca was power ranked number 1 before week 1 started.
I'm gonna reserve my comments because I play Alpaca next week. I don't want to give away some strats, but
That's true.
That's respectable. That's respectable.
I
But
love that. Yeah.
just looking over, I looked at your team a little bit over the weekend, and yeah, it's super crazy the amount of stuff that you can do, and I really like how you played this week, Alpaca, and like kind of brought in something that I mean, you brought extra drill gigalith, so like you know what's going on there, but it's always cool to see. Like I really like the Jellicent and how you use that going into this week. I think that was really cool. Plus, there's a lot of physical guys on Banana's side, minus PZ really. So yeah, I think you did awesome. So and Bananas did really good too. He spread out. What's really cool um, about your team is you really spread out your kills. But you can see I really like the Crocodile pick as well. I think that was a great pickup, and he utilized it really well in the match.
Yeah, Crocodile was a fantastic Pokemon, not just for this match, but going forward too. Adds a lot. Like you can play like he played it more offensively this week with the choice band, but it gets Intimidate or it can get Moxie. So you put a scarf on that, and then you get a couple Moxie boosts, and then you can just kind of steamroll from there. But so very good pickup from him, and I definitely keep an eye on his match next week to see how he makes out.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he's definitely a team to watch.
So next up we have the Vegas Victini and the Arcanine Wolf. So we got Fox, the runner-up from last year, and we have Andrew on the right. And Fox really took this one home. He won it 2-1. He spread out his kills over 5 different mons. Spectrier was definitely his kill leader though, and that was really kind of like his claim to victory. Andrew still got some kills. He got Rillaboom got 2 and Slowking got 1. I think Rillaboom is definitely like a great threat on his team, as well as obviously Cole and Urshifu. But Fox had, I think, just a really good game plan from the beginning.
Yeah, and Fox was a season 1 champ. Alpaca, you participated in season 1 of this Champions Pad Draft League, right?
Nope. I was joined in season 2 actually as well.
I
So I'm
joined
not sure.
season 2 as well.
Yeah, so I don't know who was a part of season 1 except for him and Banny? I think Jolt and United.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
too sure. Tyros, were you in season 1? I believe he
I
was a
was,
season 2 ad too.
yeah, I was a season 2 ad. I think Jolt came in halfway through 1, and I think United was
Wow.
in
So
there.
yeah, but he won the first season of the Champions Pad Draft League and came in the second season of the Champions Pad Draft League. So Fox is one of those teams that it's just he's a good coach. His team, you're not going to know what's exactly coming until he does it. And you're going to be like, I should have seen that coming. And he always puts himself low in the power rankings. So for new players, if you're looking at the power rankings, he's very humble. He should be ranked higher every week. So that's something to watch out for. And the way, again, talking about spreading out the kills, you can watch the video on demand at Fox Go for FOXGOPHER. And I'm not sure if it's going to be there past the 14 days. He was talking about making a YouTube. I'm not sure if he's going to do that. But his matches are fun to watch. So definitely going forward, he's going to be a team to watch out for. And yeah, I'm excited for both these teams because Andrew also has 2 of the same S tier Pokemon that I do in Colossal and Rillaboom. So I'm absolutely rooting for him to do well. He has a Latias, which we talked about earlier with Koji's pickup. And I have a sucker for Latias and Latios. So I'm excited to see how this team goes going forward. RK9 Wolves are nothing to sleep on. They had a very hard matchup week 1, similar to Koji. And yeah, I'm excited to see where they go from here. And I'm excited to see where Fox goes from here, too. Koji, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I think something important that we've said twice in this filming or stream now is that preparation. You said
Yes.
that he's always prepared, and you don't expect it until it hits you, and then it's obvious. That's how I feel when I played my week 1 matchup against the last season champ. Was that this was a very obvious thing. And I probably spent, gosh, I don't know, 24 to 36 hours preparing easily. So that just tells you the amount of dedication and hard work. So definitely shout out to both of these guys, Biani and Fox, for the preparation. That you don't get to champion just because there's some niche in you or you're just lucky. It's a lot of hard work. And I think these guys, honestly, I'm just going to go out on a limb here because that's where you go gather the fruit, right? I think
Yeah.
they're beatable. I think they're honestly beatable. We just have to prepare harder and be smarter, and put the work in, and you got to want it. Looking at his team, he's got a solid team, but he's got some definitely interesting Pokemon that you wouldn't expect. I think Fox has a surprise tier, honestly, about him. I mean, the Rhyperior, Spectrier, those are kind of obvious picks. Mean Shao, in a way. Bronzong too, but I mean, the Swampert, Voltown, Corvic Knight in doubles is kind of interesting. Persian is very good. The Mandibuzz is kind of interesting to me. And then Heatran's pretty good, but also interesting. And then, like you said, on the other side, the Latias, I just picked that up. It's a solid Pokemon. Mimikyu, pretty good Trick Room setter because with disguise and stuff. And I'm a sucker for Rillaboom. Such a good Pokemon. But he does have some interesting things going on. But both solid teams. But again, guys, I think if we just prep, you just prep really hard like these guys, and we'll see results. Honestly.
And back to that point, I was able to beat Fox in the regular season last year. So he's right. Koji is 100% right. These guys are beatable. I just had to bring all my octopus themed Pokemon to do it. But it worked with Octillery, Grapploct, and Malamar, and I had a blast doing it. But yeah, it's what's it called? Everyone's beatable in this league. You could be the worst, the last place team, technically the worst, and you could beat the first place team. It's all a matter of how you go out, your mentality going into the battle, and how much you really want it. If you want it, you prep for it. Anything is possible in this Pokemon Draft League. It's all a roll of the dice. Everything's a roll of the dice in Pokemon. So yeah, everyone is beatable. And when Koji said that, that really stood out to me. That's great advice. Everyone is beatable in this league. And just because you have 1 or 2 bad weeks doesn't mean you're gonna have 1 or 2 more bad weeks. You could turn it around like that. And
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
the word
Yeah,
preparation. That's when you said 2 champs. The 2 words you said with champions, previous champion, was these guys prepare. So that's the main
yeah,
thing I wanted to focus on was preparation.
yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if Andrew streams, but I didn't see a Twitch or any link in the now streaming. I think we covered this match great. Let's go on to the next one. we got one of my favorite guys in the league, Snom versus Arceus. And Snom in the Texas Tornadus versus Arceus in the Gold Coast Go-Goats. So one of the reasons why Snom is one of my favorite competitors is because he was mathematically eliminated from the playoffs at the end of last season. And he came out and won a game that made me win a tiebreaker to get into the playoffs. So this is a dude that just does not quit. You know he's going to be there competing until the end of it. And I respect the hell out of that. That's why I'm rooting for Snom every week this season. And I was very happy to see him get the 2-0 win. He did it with my boy, Reggie Gigas, too. So Reggie was a staple of my team last year. And Snom was able to get it. Nice kill with it. He got 5 kills with the Galarian Darmanitan too, which
So
I
he was
wish there was video of this.
he was actually texting me at, like a play-by-play as he was doing it on
Please.
Discord.
Yes.
So his lead was Tornadus Darm with Gyarados in the back, and I think Zapdos. Well, we did a bunch of practice matches together, and like that's what he usually brought. And then the second go around, he he guessed that Pincurchin was going to come, and he wanted to shut down Pincurchin, so he brought Wheezing Gigas out. He called it, brought out Pincurchin, and then Gigas just went ham. So great reads on his part, and Darmanitan. Who was it? You, Koji, picked up Darm this week too?
Yeah, I picked up Darm.
Oh man, dude's a monster. Hits hard, goes fast. Crazy abilities. You put a choice band on that or a choice scarf, or just absolutely starts wrecking house. So yeah, Snom, great this week. He said he might start doing a stream here maybe, so that would be pretty cool. But yeah, great win for him.
I'd definitely watch because I love his battle style. Alpaca, you got anything on this one?
No. Looking at his matchup versus the Arceus of the Gold Coast Go-Goats, like he's a newcomer to the league, so I'm not really sure how he battles, and not having video evidence kind of leaves a lot to question. But looking at Darmanitan, you can see why it has 5 kills. You set up Tailwind, maybe it has Choice Band, Choice Scarf. It outspeeds Venusaur in the sun, I think, no matter what, with Tailwind up.
Yes, it does.
So yeah, so now you're getting max, or you're getting icicle crashes off, or you're maxing and setting hail, disrupting the weather. So yeah, it just looked like Snom knew what the counter to his opponent's team was, and he played to that.
Yeah, Darm is clutch here. I mean, you have the choice scarf. I would foresee with the guerrilla tactics. He gets the superpower, or pretty sure he gets superpower for Snorlax, but he gets that earthquake that people forget about, and rock slide to cause those flinches. He can pressure the Ninetales, even though it is fire type with the earthquake. I'm pretty sure it calcs out if he's not sashed as well. And I always count for the Venusaur. It does outspeed under weather, so you can roll the dice on the icicle crash, and it's a kill 100% of the time. However, my plan was a little different, which is something cool you can do with Darm, the U-turn to chip the Focus Sash off, and then just lead one of your other Pokemon, which he has several flying types and max Airstream into it. I'm a sucker for Darm, and I also see why he has so many kills with it. Wish I was on that side of the Darm as he was on, but that's what Week 2 is for. And I think that he's got a solid team around that. The wheezing Reggie Gigas is scary no matter what. If you have nothing to shut that down and you get that rolling, it's pretty free, honestly. So it's cool to see that, honestly.
And it's so much fun. I had Reggie Gigas and Galarian Wheezing last year on my team.
Yeah.
And I paired it with Colossal and Blacephalon, actually, which we see on the other team, Blacephalon. And I had a blast with those core 4 because I would just lead Blacephalon and Mind Blown. The Cole set up the steam engine and go to town, and then I could Dynamax Reggie Gigas in the back if I needed to, and everyone would think I was Dynamax and Cole. It was so much fun. And yet, Snom's team is really scary, especially he got this Swoobat, which I'm scared of. I don't know what the Kanto birds really do. Zapdos is better than Moltres, but I'm excited to see how he puts those to work. I love the amount of Kanto Pokemon on his team, too, and Weezing, Vaporeon, Zapdos, Gyarados, Moltres. But one thing about the Gold Coast Go-Goats is I want to see Blacephalon be used more and he got 3 kills with it. I really am curious to see how he got the 3 kills. There's no video on demand for this one, but if you get the Stefan Mind Blown in the sun, you put out Ninetales Protect Mind Blown turn 1, or I don't know what you could use. Maybe Ninetales. I don't think anything on his team gets telepathy, so you would have to protect next to it, and Mind Blown's going to hurt whatever's next to it. Maybe Thick Fat Snorlax could take a hit, but I'm excited to see how he uses that specific Pokemon going forward for the rest of the season. And again, there's no video on demand, so if Snum gets a stream set up, I'd be excited to watch, and I'd love to watch as many matches as possible. And
next one.
Let's go into the next one. This is one of the battles I caught too. Tank versus Jax. The LA Lapras versus the Dialga Demons. And this was a really fun matchup to watch. So, Koji, one of the things I've noticed is you have a great stream. It looks very professional. I thought the same thing about Tank. That was my first impression of his stream setup. Like, you guys got the waiting music. You guys got a little more professional setup going on. And I really enjoy seeing that. And then one thing that stood out about the battle, though, is the LA Lapras put the Hatterene to work. So you see the Glastrier on the other side. You're like, maybe he won't try to get into Trick Room. I forget exactly. I think it went into Trick Room a couple of times. But the Hatterene got 6 kills. It didn't even matter. The other side had Glastrier, had probably the premier Trick Room Mon. It only got 1 kill. The Hatterene got 6 kills. The Escav got 2 kills. The Lando got 2 kills. Galarian Moltres got 2 kills. Cinderace got 4 kills. This was a 3-game series. Both games 1 and 2 were awesome. Game 3 was amazing as well. And I wish I remembered more details, but as a viewer, I remember just thinking, oh my God, this is a fun battle to watch. And I'm excited to see what these guys do going forward too. They were both high in the power rankings. Tank was at 10 and Jax was at 11. And if you guys want to watch Tank stream, I believe there is a video on demand at Tank Action, TankAction. And yeah, this was a hell of a battle. I'm glad I got to see it on the stream. And these are 2 teams to watch out for going forward because they're both very good. The Dialga Demons could go fast, they could go slow. Tank, he could go fast, he could go slow. They both got heavy hitters on offense. They both got good support moms. So, yeah, both these teams are something to watch out for. No surprises went to a 3-game series after seeing these rosters and after seeing the games 1 and 2. And yeah, these guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with going forward this season.
Yeah, looking at his team immediately, I can see why the Hatterene picked up the kills. Play well in Trick Room, so he's not worried about the Glastrier really setting up as that's what he kind of wants. He has that Indeedee for misdirection to protect his hat that's probably going to just drop max flares.
Yep.
He can, he also has the Psychic Terrain up, so he's not worried about Fake Out at all on his team. He has the Hitmontop that he can bring for his own Fake Out pressure and Intimidate. So I really like his team. I could see why the Hatterene put in a good amount of work for this team. Honestly,
so much work.
Yeah, it's got a solid matchup going against this. There's not much that hard checks it. There's some things that could kind of hang with it, but for the most part, the Klefki's not going to check it in most scenarios. If you bring the Dusclops Glastrier, you're kind of doing the same thing he's wanting. He has a Mugus and Indeedee female somehow, so his misdirection's insane. And then the bottom half, I really like Cinescorch. I have a weak spot for Cinescorch. It dominates Trick Room, especially Dusclops. There's some neat things you can do with it. Gets Fire Lash to lower defenses. It can trap you in if you're wanting to, like G-Max the Cinescorch and trap them.
With the Fire Spin, yeah.
Yeah, and then it could max bug to lower special attack. So I have a weak spot for Cinescorch as well. I really like his team. But I do see why the Hatterene put in work this week.
Yeah, 6 kills shocked me when I first saw that, taking the match stats. Like, I was taking notes on the match stats, and I was like, holy moly, that's awesome. Alpaca, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I think Tank here, it's both teams are obviously very strong, and it was a hard fought battle, but I think the Hitmontop Landorus to match up into the Glastrier, the Landorus with the Intimidate and Hitmontop with the Intimidate kind of neuters that offensive there, and the Cinderace and the Yeah, I think that's just really hard. And then also his trigger mode is very strong. So if he can't use those Pokemon to kind of go fast, then he wants to set up Trick Room, which is kind of plays into what Tank wants to play too. So I think it was just kind of a tough matchup for Jax, but he obviously fought and grinded out and got a win, and was probably close to getting another game too. So it just goes to show that he's a coach to look out for. That even in kind of an unfavorable matchup, he's gonna try to bring it back. And it also shows that Tank just he knows what he wanted to do. He set up Trick Room. He got kills with Hatterene. Uh, it's as simple as that. The Indeedee makes it super simple with the misdirection and sets up the psychic terrain. Yeah, I just think it was a great battle from both sides.
Couldn't agree more.
All right.
Tyros, you got anything? Sorry.
No, I love watching the match. I agree with everything you guys said. Tank went out there, he had a game plan, and he executed it. And that's really what happened here. I thought it was super interesting. Cinderace got 4 kills, but Hatterene for most of all 3 matches just kind of like shut down Cinderace. And one interesting thing that Jax brought is he brought Protect on Cinderace, which was kind of cool. You don't usually see that too often. So I thought that was interesting. So next up we have, I think we got 2 left. So we have Yama in the red corner, and we have Jade in the blue with the Charmanders against the SQ. And he's a great battler. He ended up taking this 2-0. And Guja was really the problem for
7
Yama's
kills?
team. Yeah, 7 kills, which is ridiculous. He brought out Gudra, or he had Gudra in the back, and it had the berry. I think it's the Haban berry, that that really nerfs the Dragon type moves that are
Yeah,
super effective.
reduces the dragon type.
Yeah, yep.
Oh,
That was
Dragon type berry.
yeah, that was a super cool thing to bring. But yeah, Gudra just kind of wrecked house for during this match.
So he looked at the other team. He saw the Draco's ult and the Kingdra. He didn't want to take any part in that, and he knew the Gudra would take up everything else. I like it. Gudra is such a tanky Pokemon to take down, which is very clutch for doubles, honestly. VGC. Absolutely like it. That's insane.
It's so much fun to use. Again, this is one of the Pokemon I had last year on my roster. I loved using it, and I actually used it next to an Incineroar to set up the weakness policy with Bulldoze. And that was a lot of fun. I used it more in a supportive role. And then it's so versatile, and seeing it get 7 kills week 1 is awesome. This is an early guy that we could see Jade potentially get into the kill monster, like the kill leader of the entire season if he keeps using it like this.
Yeah, he's a great battler overall. I think Jade was actually in season 1 as well. And he's the one that's from Australia. Super great battler. He really sees the field very well, and he preps really well, just like Fox Mahani. So he's definitely someone to watch out for if he's on your list this year.
Yeah, I think it was a great battle to watch too. I remember, I think Yama streamed this one. And,
Yes, he did. There is no video though.
Yeah, but I like his prep with the Kingdra. I didn't know about the Choice Scarf. I think he was expecting the Gudra to be Choice Scarf, I think he said. So that I didn't really like the Choice Scarf, but I did like that he was the physical Kingdra, knowing that Jay's gonna want to bring the Gudra, and it's especially bulky, so dragon attacks from Kingdra are not gonna be doing anything from the special side. So he went physical. It's just Jade had the prep with the Haban berry to actually neuter his prep. So just really both good prep from both sides, and I like to see the kind of the metagaming, like the counter teaming, the counter stuff.
And these were
Yes.
2 highly ranked teams in the power rankings too. Jade at 2 and Yama at 6. So these guys are no joke. And I want to shout out Yama's Twitter because I've been shouting out everyone else, not Twitter, Twitch. That YAMAGUU, Yamagoo. So if you want to go watch this match, there is no stream or no video. But I mean, you could catch the next stream. But there is no video. And sorry to interrupt Koji or Tyros if one of you guys were starting to speak before I said that.
Oh no, I'm good.
Yeah, so and then I think we covered this one well, and that brings us into our last match. And Tyros, why don't you take us from here?
All right, so the last match was mine. Well, I say last match. It was just last on the list here. Was mine against Pops. And Pops was ranked dead last on our power rankings one.
24th.
Yep.
And I didn't understand his team comp.
No,
Not
because
gonna lie.
he had a lot of support like across the board on his team. He didn't really have any big heavy hitters. And then Wednesday morning, I get a text on my phone or I get a notification that Pops has made 2 trades, and he picked up Celestelia and Garchomp, and immediately his team became way more scary. So definitely
Immediately. Yeah.
immediately. So I won the first match, and then he took the next 2. I went in there with a game plan for really focusing around Sableye, kind of doing trick stuff with its item, which I brought was Lagging Tail, quashing stuff, and then Metagross was going to be my heavy hitter, and it worked out well the first game. It worked out not well at all the second game, and then the third game came around, and then it came down to the end. I had a missed Rockfall, and Marowak just came in and just wrecked Metagross. So it was a great job by Pops. I talked to him a bunch after the match, and he said he spent a ton of time just running EV calcs across the board, and it definitely showed during the match. Like, I did not think that Drifblim was going to do that much damage to Metagross with a Shadow Ball. Like, it was just crazy. So his prep was just straight up on point, and that's why he won.
I'll go back to the third thing then. Third time we've said this. The guy prepared very hard and comes out with the win. Not saying you didn't, but that those extra hours, man, they really come in clutch. But do not do like I did in tunnel vision on one thing. I was so focused on the sun and Venusaur that I kind of blinded myself. So take my advice on that one. But yeah, on paper, I mean, your team to me does seem a lot scarier. It's unfortunate to hear that you lost like that. I did catch the game. I made a comment in the game because you're a Buffalo fan that I had to pull for Pop because I was a Patriots fan. But in overall, I do like your team better. But on my stream, it's on my stream somewhere. We actually watch you until you're done, and then we moved on to Shiny Hunt T-Tar. So we had fun. The stream had fun watching you. They're actually into this stuff, so that's pretty cool. And they were right impressed with your guys' battle as well. They kind of gave me a little bit of hell and said I just laid there and took it. But they don't quite understand VGC as much, so they didn't understand how hard I did play. But overall, this match I did watch with the stream. We ate cookies and watched it, and it was a quite fun match to watch. I had a good time watching you both play.
That's awesome. Thanks.
And yeah, you could see this VOD at Tyros1325 on Tyros' Twitch for the next 14 days, I believe.
Yep. Easy day.
Easy day. Yeah, the Marowak had 5 kills on you, huh? That's rough, man.
Yeah,
Marowak went crazy.
Yeah, Marowak was super scary. When I was doing prep throughout the week, Marowak was by far my biggest problem. It has that thick club, and then it doubles its attack. So that was my main focus for Sableye, was to try and get that thick club. And the second and third game, he had Marowak, I think, in the back. Brought him out after Sableye was gone, and I mean, I just had no answer for it after that. So there was good prep, good reads on his part, and good win. So I think that's it.
Dude, this was awesome. This was a lot of fun. Alpaca, thank you. Koji, thank you. And yeah, I told you guys before this, but me and Tyros are going to try to do a weekly recap every week, Sunday after the matches are over. And we're going to try to get 2 different people on, whoever wants to join us. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. And I also need to apologize to Pops, I feel like, too, because I told him in the preview rankings we did with B. Haney and Fox, I was like, the Feeney, you set up the terrain, you can't status anything. That's what you want to do with the Drift Limb. The G-Max Grimace wants the status stuff. The Butterfree wants the status stuff. But he came out there and kicked ass, Tyros. I'm sorry he kicked your ass.
It's all good,
I
man.
was rooting for you. But Pops played great. You played great. I'm excited for both your teams going forward. And again, Koji and Alpaca, thank you guys for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. The line's always open. If you need somebody, we'll definitely come back. This was a blast. I had fun. I like reviewing it. I do apologize for not being able to watch as many of the games as I would like to. I work full
I
time.
missed around half of them too, so don't even
part-time
worry about
stream.
it, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll definitely make an honest effort to definitely keep up with more this week. Life, you got to juggle life, you know. But congratulations to the winners this week and to the losers. You know, just try to picture that congratulations to yourself next week, including myself. So that's what we're chasing. I have to play the Charlotte Vespa Queen and Caleb. I believe we're going to do it on Sunday. So you guys check in on that as I'm going to claim my first win and get in that column.
Nice.
And I look forward to seeing you guys there.
Alpaca, what do you always say about that first win?
First win? First win's the hardest.
You always be saying that in the streams. I love when you say
Yeah.
that in the streams too.
No, it is. Yeah, this first week's over. Like Koji said, congratulations to winners. The losers, I know you guys are gonna this first week. If maybe some people didn't prep, it's a wake up call. Like you're gonna prep a bit harder, and maybe you thought your prep went well, and you just gotta fix a couple small things, a couple mistakes here, a couple reads here that you made, and like some people just got flat out unlucky. So week 2 is a whole new week, and I'm sure everybody's gonna put on some good matches for us.
You can feel free just to wing it this week, Alpaca. No.
I don't know about that. I think this week might be my hardest prep all season.
All right,
I got some surprises.
I like good tech. I think that's the best part.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on, guys. This has been really good. Tom, you wanna close us out here?
Yeah, I think we said everything we got to say. Thank everyone for watching this. If you watch this, I want to shout out Koji's Twitch again at Prof Koji, PROFKOJI. I want to shout out Alpaca's Twitch again at ZEALPACALYPSETTV. Tyros, your Twitch is TYROS1325. And you can find my Twitch at Tom Hayden, TOMHAYDEN 27. And the Champion Path Draft League is a lot of fun. At CPDL on Twitter. And I'm going to talk to B. Haney about maybe making a YouTube channel and trying to conglomerate all the matches from the week. If we could get the owners to send them to me in a Google Docs. So I got to talk to him more about that. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. Again, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later, guys.
Yeah, thanks. See ya.